Hi everyone, welcome to Impact Academy. So today let us continue with the model paper 2 of economy. Okay. So Indian and Andhra Pradesh economy. Okay. So this is model paper 2. We have already completed model paper 1 in 3 parts. So this is model paper 2. Let us start. So identify which of the following is. So here is saying incorrect. Okay, regarding national manufacturing policy. But if you look at the option, all three are correct. So that's why I put a comment here also. Okay, it's not incorrect. All three options are correct. Hence, question should be which of the following are correct. So these materials often have some mistakes. So whenever I find a mistake, immediately I am putting a comment. Okay. So when you if you get this PDF, remember that there is if there is a comment, just check it. Okay, what it means. Okay. Because mistakes do happen because these are 20 plus model papers. Each one contains 75 questions. Okay. So sometimes the answers in which they give there might be a problem. Yeah. So national manufacturing policy. It's a very important policy. The National Manufacturing Policy was announced on 4th November 2011, and according to the policy of 2022, that means this is the older one, this is the new one. Share of manufacturing in GDP should be increased to 25%. Okay, so this we are talking about manufacturing. According to the policy, preparation as of 100 million people should be employed in the sector. So basically, what it's saying, one of the target of the policy is 100 million people. So if you look at national manufacturing policy, so this particular PPT I want to once uh, see this PPT. First, it will contain the union budget, okay, in detail, and including everything. What are the figures and all the everything, or those which are important. Okay, we cannot read hundreds of pages, right? So whatever is most important that will be shown here. So all the various allotments to various schemes and everything. Okay, usually where questions are asked, everything is there. Then we have these differentiations, and then we have Andhra Pradesh. Okay, India budget and Andhra Pradesh budget, brief about the budget, and also various, all the important points and different grants in aid. Okay, different everything that is important from the point of view exam. Okay, where questions are frequently asked, that is there. So on this is the individual departments like transport department, energy, rural development, agriculture. Okay, that those questions are frequently asked. Then, so Indian Economic Survey, we have separate documents, and the latest economic survey hasn't come yet. Okay, so even in the case of Andhra Pradesh, the economic survey we have is of 22-23 only. 23-24 has not yet come. So when it comes, I will update it. For the time being, whatever questions are asked, okay, usually GSTP, per capita income, okay, what, and then we have some policies. Okay, so whatever policies we encounter in the questions, I will put them here. Okay, so trade policy, manufacturing policy, so all these things policies, and then you have a lot of this industrial policy. For example, industrial policy, all these are very important. Okay, how did industrial policy start? Okay, 48, 56, 77, 99, and the latest one. And then you have banking related nationalization, different types of what are the current repo rate and all these things. Nursing home committee. Okay, any individual questions, current affairs which I encounter, I'll be putting it here. Okay, so this bank rate, SLR, and all that. So everything related to banking. Then we have the agriculture sector. Okay, basics of agriculture sector, green revolution, very important reforms. Okay, and then you have whatever we encounter in the questions, all those things will come here. Then you have AP. Okay, this is from the economic survey. Okay, this is from the economic survey 22-23, which is the latest one, but the information is updated. So all this is the updated information. And if we get a new economic survey before the exam, I will update the economic survey also. So you have, this is all the updated information of all the 26 districts. Okay, so questions are asked from this: which has the highest population, which has the lowest population. Okay. So we have to go through this also. Okay, in economy, these questions are frequently asked, and some related to agriculture. So all this is related to agriculture. Then comes industries. Okay, so most important, not the complete economic survey. Whatever is important that I have put, and the industrial sector. Okay, the definitions, different based on questions. Okay, whatever questions we encounter, that that too not from one source, multiple sources. Okay, so I'm going through everything that is available. in the internet, and what is important, and taking parts of it and putting it together. Okay, and then you have industrial sector of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, whatever this complete socio-economic survey, whatever is there, complete industrial sector. So all the three sectors are covered. Then after that, you have service sector. Okay, tourism policy, Andhra Pradesh tourism policy. So whatever policies, whatever this thing we encounter in the questions, I'll try to update here. Then we have all the regulatory bodies, RBI, NABARD. Okay, housing bank, Exim banks. Okay, so all these things, Niti Ayog, SEBI, ADB, all these things, ICR. So whatever we come in the questions, and then these are indexes, all these rankings. Okay, who is the these one liners? Okay, who is the governor? Who is the chief economist? Who is the CEO of Niti Ayog? All these things. Okay, World Bank. As and when we see a question, I will update that. And this is the indexes, all the index, human development index, corruption perception. At least one or two questions will come from this. Okay, frequently these indexes would also be asked. Then you have this multi-dimensional anything. I'll keep updating these things. These are all the committees. Okay, various committees, most important committees you have to go through. Kamath committee. Okay, Abid Hussain committee, we've already seen, right? Small scale industries, etc., etc. Okay, Sarkaria commission, Nasimham committee, all the committees, okay, all the committees, Tarapur committee. So everything. And this is the census. Okay, census is very important. After 2011 we haven't had a new census, but census 2011 is very important. So we have to go through all this census. Okay, population, sex ratio, literacy rates, and decadal growth of this thing, which is the highest, lowest. Okay, and which is the density, sex ratio, literacy rates, so all the census in brief. Then whatever current affairs comes. Okay, whatever questions we encounter, all the time putting it here. Fine. So this is a comprehensive PDF, very large PDF actually. It will come to around 300 pages or so. So this PPT, okay, this PPT contains complete India and AP economy that you will require for the upcoming exam. Okay, and this will be updated. So we are in the second model paper, and already the PDF, the PPT has been almost 80% completed. So now from onward, whatever current affairs we encounter, I'll be updating this PPT. Okay. So just before the exam, 1 to 2 weeks before the exam, you need not read anything else. Only by reading this PDF and these model papers, you will be easily able to get more than 50-60 marks out of 75 in the coming exam. Fine. So let us continue with the model paper. So if you look at the first question, identify which of the following is correct. Okay, not incorrect. Correct regarding the national manufacturing policy. So let us briefly look at the national manufacturing policy. Okay, so objectives of the national manufacturing policy: to bring out this policy to increase the manufacturing sector growth to 12 to 14% over the medium term, to make it to the engine of growth for economy. Okay, so the 2 to 4% differential over the medium term, okay, will enable manufacturing sector to contribute at least 25% of the national GDP by 2022. So this is more important. Okay, so the idea is that manufacturing should contribute at least 25% to the national GDP and create 100 million additional jobs. Okay, this rest of this just go through and you can actually make it out with common sense. Okay, so these things you have to remember, these specifics, 100 million. Okay, anything you see, just read it once. Most of this will come with common sense. These particular statistics or figures, targets, etc., those things you have to try to remember. So in this particular case, we have 25% of GDP target and 100 million jobs. Now let's see what the question is asked. The national manufacturing policy was announced on 4th November 2011. So see, when it was what you say, this is 2022. So these things, it is very difficult to remember. Okay, this when a particular dates and all is very difficult. So you have to go for elimination method. You have to eliminate using the other options. So according to this policy, 2022, the share of manufacturing of GDP should be increased to 25%. This is true, right? We've just seen. This is a very important point of the policy. What they're trying to do, increase to 25%. So if they want to increase to 25%, what is the current percentage of what is the industry? We have seen. Okay, industry is 26%. Out of that, we have seen manufacturing also. In the industrial sector, we have seen manufacturing. Okay, in the IIP, if you look at it, there are mining, manufacturing, and electricity in the index of industrial production. We have seen that. So this also just keep in mind. Manufacturing is 77 percentage weightage. It's the highest in all this. So anyway, so they're trying to make according to the share of manufacturing. Okay, in the industrial sector, the manufacturing alone should be increased to 25%. And in general, in India, we have service sector 56%. We have just seen, right? This is very important. You have to remember these figures. This is very, very important. You have services 56, industry 26, and agriculture 18% only, very less. Okay, agriculture in Andhra is 23, industry is quite high actually, 41, and services is very low compared to the national level. Andhra Pradesh services is low. So within this industry, manufacturing alone, you want to bring it to 25% of the GDP. Okay, fine. Next, according to this policy, 100 million, this question sentence minor framing is not good, but anyway, 100 million people should be employed. So that's we've already seen. 100 million jobs should be created in the national manufacturing policy. Fine. So all three are correct. Okay. So you can make out if in the option only B and C is given, then it will become more tough. But most if you can see here, there is no B and C. So you can make out that it is A, B, and C. So probably this is correct. And also, you see this is in 2011 and the targets are 2022. Okay, so seems right. Okay, they have given 1 decade for the policy to work. Okay, so you can make out this is ABC. All three are correct. And here the question it is not incorrect. It is correct. Okay, all three options are correct, and the question should be which of the following are correct. So which is true about the FTP 2023. So FTP we have just seen, right? So in this trade policy we have seen couple of things we've remembered also. Okay, 750 billion dollars US dollars. Okay, that is the export. And see, India's overall exports, including services and merchandise exports, have already surpassed 750 billion US dollars and are projected to exceed 760. Okay, anyway, remember the 750. That is one thing. And the value of India's exports in the financial year 21-22 witnessed a growth of 41% to reach $400 billion compared to the pandemic year. Okay, so remember there is a growth of 41%. And in general, it has surpassed $750 billion. Fine, including services, merchandise, everything. And this is the target. The target of the foreign trade policy is to reach $2 trillion by 2030. This you have to remember. These are the things we have seen, common sense. And here towns of export also we have seen Faridabad, Mirzapur, Moradabad, and Varanasi. Already there are 39, and these four have been added. Okay, Faridabad, Mirzapur, Moradabad, and Varanasi. And also you have this what is called as the Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme. Okay, facilitation under the Export Promotion and Capital Goods Scheme. It allows for the import of capital goods at zero customs duty for export production is being further rationalized. The PM Mitra scheme has been added as an additional scheme eligible to claim benefits under the Common Service Provider scheme of the Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme. Okay, so for if you are trying to export a product, and for that product, for example, you are trying to export pharmaceutical medicines. Okay, so in order to prepare that medicine, you need to import some chemicals, right? So this is what it's talking about, to allow the import of the capital goods for export production. Okay, so that input material they're trying to make zero customs duty also. PM Mitra scheme is also there. And battery, see, there is a lot of what you say focus on this. Okay, recently more questions are being asked on this electric vehicles, and especially the lithium batteries that are used in electric vehicles. We are trying to, because we are highly dependent on imports from China and all these things, especially for these lithium batteries and everything. So we are trying to improve our production. Okay, so battery vehicles, vertical farming equipment, wastewater treatment, recycling, rainwater harvesting system, rainwater filters, green hydrogen, etc. All these things will be eligible for this export promotion of capital goods scheme. That is, in order for these items, if which you want to export, if you want to import any input materials, some raw materials or something, okay, that will have zero customs duty. Okay, remember that. And the FTP, foreign trade policy, also aims at building partnership with state governments, taking forward the districts as export hubs. Okay, this is one initiative. Try to remember district as the export. Okay, each district will have a specialty. Okay, one district, one product, and all those things also we have seen. Development at grassroots trade ecosystem. So broadly, remember this: two trillion by 2030, and currently it is 750 plus billion. This thing, and you have these four new towns of export excellence: Faridabad, Mirzapur, Moradabad, and Varanasi. Okay, and this comet also we've seen special chemicals, organisms, materials, equipment, and technology items. Okay, so now let us look at the question. What is the question? So, which is are true about FTP 2023? FTP 2023 aims at process reengineering automation to facilitate ease of doing business for exports. So, you can make it out. It's for exports. It's trying to improve exports. So, all this is fine. It is based on principles of trust and partnership with the exports. Again, such statements you have to use your common sense and make it out because you can't remember or read it somewhere. Okay, so we are talking about exports. Everything we can do about exports. So principle of trust and partnership, positive statements. Okay, seems fine. Now, so FTP 2023 encourages recognition of new towns through towns of export excellence. Okay, as now this you know for sure. Okay, is true. 39 towns are already there. Four new towns have been added. So this you know first. So C has to be there. So C, B and C. Okay, but A also seems to be correct. Okay, A and C, B is also correct. So A, B, C. So like that you have to eliminate, and here you have to take a chance that A, B, C are correct. Okay. Anyway, this is the answer given directly. So in this particular case, A, B, C is correct. But if you know one or two statements perfectly, then you will be able to eliminate other options. Okay, that is very important. So, which of the following are added in the green technology products under the new foreign trade policy? So, in the new foreign trade policy, under the green technology, we have just now seen. Okay, battery vehicles, battery electric vehicles, vertical farming equipment, wastewater treatment, recycling, rainwater harvesting is there, rainwater filters, green hydrogen, all these things are there. Okay, now in the question, what is asking? Rainwater harvesting, rainwater filter, yes, it is there. Wastewater management, recycling is there. Battery electric vehicles and green hydrogen, yes. So all the above are there. In the FTP 2023 to 2028, try to remember this also for 5 years. Okay, usually most policies will be for 5 years. So 2023, very latest to 2028. Okay, it is focusing on all the above. So, what is the primary target age group for the vaccination against cervical cancer in girls as per budget 2024? So, girls cervical cancer budget 2024. So, now let us go to the budget. So, in the budget, okay. So there is one thing first regarding women. There is one thing called as Nari Shakti. Okay, so Nari Shakti is, try to remember that 30 crore mudra loans have been given to women entrepreneurs. Try to remember, okay, roughly 30 crore mudra loans. Female enrollment in higher education is increased by 28%. Okay, which is a very good thing, right? In higher education, especially 28%, it has increased. 43% of female enrollment in STEM courses, that is science and technology, okay, engineering and mathematics. Next, one crore women assisted by 83 lakh SHGs. Try to remember this to become Lakpati Didis. So, female labor force participation rate has also increased. Okay, from 23 it became 37. Remember this. So now 37 percentage of the females are actually participating in labor force. That is one thing. Next, you have uh, this regarding cervical cancer. Okay, see, Regarding the health section, encourage cervical cancer vaccination for girls 9 to 14 years. Okay, so for girls 9 to 14 years, they are trying to give vaccination for cervical cancer. Also, Suction Angambody and Portion 2.0 to be expedited for nutrition delivery. Okay, so Poshan Abhiyan 2.0, Anganwadis and all these things. UN platform for immunization efforts of Mission Indradhanush. So Indradhanush is already well. Indradhanush is the what is the mission? And Indradhanush is the national vaccination program. This polio, okay, tuberculosis, not tuberculosis, polio, Japanese encephalitis, and all those things. We say measles, rubella, measles, and all those things. That's also important. Go through. Also, Indradhanush reforms is also there in banking sector. Just keep in mind. In banking, also there is one thing called as the Indradhanush mission. Okay. Next, you have health cover under Ayushman Bharat scheme to be extended to all ASHA, Anganwadi workers and helpers. So even there, they will be getting health cover under Ayushman Bharat. So remember all these points. So in the budget, cervical cancer vaccination to 9 to 14-year girls. Okay, try to remember that. So how much amount has been given for Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro food processing enterprises Yojana under budget 2024? So if you look at the major outlay of, what are the money allocated to major schemes? Okay, now there will be see so many schemes. Okay, almost what you have like 170 plus. Okay, important ones. Of course, you cannot remember all 170, but um, through multiple repetition, try to remember at least 10 or 15. Okay, because such questions will be asked, and those who prepare will answer. So there itself. So in every topic like this, 2 to 3 marks, 2 to 3 marks, and if you get in 30s, 40s, someone else is getting in 60s. Okay, it is game over. You lost the exam. So when you're doing it, do it 100%. Okay. So if you observe this, this is Manrega. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program. Last year it was 60,000. Yeah. This is 22-23. Okay, you need not remember 22-23, but 23-24. This is the budget estimate. Okay. So in 2023, when the budget came, this is the estimate they have given. Afterwards, again, what happens is in the throughout the year, by the time the year gets completed, they are going to revise it and say, okay, how much actually was spent. Okay, so that is the revised estimate. And again, now in the 2024, when the budget came, this is the estimate they have given. So by the end of 2025, they will again give a revised estimate. So usually we don't go after the revised estimates. Usually questions will be asked on budget estimates. Okay, so try to remember 2024. I mean that's 23-24 and 24-25. The last year one, current year one, and the trends. Okay. So Manrega is a very you can see, just go through this also. This is in crores, right? So last year they have given 60,000 crore. This year they have given 86,000 crore. This is very important. Remember, okay? And look for any important ones or big ones. Okay. So these things need not remember. Remember this. Manrega is 86,000. Last time it was 60,000. And Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is again 80,000. Okay. Huge amount. And Jal Jeevan Mission 70,000. Huge amount. Health Mission 38,000. And these are all again small. See, Gram Sadak Yojana, roads 19,000. See the difference. For Manrega, it is 86,000 crore, and Gram Sadak roads is 90,000 only. Okay, already such a huge difference. So, Manrega is so important. Okay, so much money is being spent on that. See, Swachh Bharat Mission only 7,000 crore. Ayushman Bharat, very important. Okay, only 7,000 crore. Amrut. Okay, and so all these are fine. Okay, if you can remember, but I don't think you can remember the numbers for all this. But this PM Shri is in the recent budget. It has been highlighted. Okay, regarding the schools. So try to remember that there is something called PM Shri. Swachh Bharat Mission is a Prime Minister's very favorite. So remember around 5,000. Okay, so no change. See 5,000, 5,000. Interlinking of rivers 3,500. Okay, all these things. PM Usha. So this question he has asked is this one, right? Prime Minister formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Okay, see what is the question? Uh, so Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro food processing enterprises Yojana. Okay, budget 2024. Okay, so what is that? Prime Minister formalization of micro food processing enterprises, that is 880. So it's not a very big scheme actually. It is a small scheme. From 639 it has become 830. Okay. PM Kisan 60,000, again say huge amount. Okay. See the category also. This is core of the core schemes. That means very important schemes. You can try to remember actually how much for schedule type, schedule cost, 9,000 crores, 4,000. Okay. Try to remember that also. Then these are core schemes. That means these are very important. Core of the core, very important. These are the core schemes. That means somewhat important schemes. And here it is saying major central sector schemes. That means those schemes where central government pays 100%, right? So PM Kisan, you can look at it from that point of view also. Okay, what are the central sector schemes? Crop insurance scheme, PM Kisan, FPOs, interest subvention, PM Asha. Okay, Annadata, Aya Sanrakshan Yojana, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, 600 crores only. Okay, this interest subvention they are giving 22,000. So much money is being spent for giving back the interest. Kisan, PM Kisan, 6,000 per year, right? That is 60,000 is being spent. Nuclear power projects only 2,000. Okay, research and development only 1,200. See, very less is being spent for research and development. Uh, so all these things are very important. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Oh, see, this is huge amount. See, this is 2 lakh. Okay, so 2 lakh 5,000. So very huge amount. Remember this. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. That is the free food grains for the poor people. Okay. So it is way 2 lakh 5,000. Has, I think this is the highest till now we have seen, right? There is nothing more than that. Nothing nearby also. Next highest is Manrega. Nothing is okay. So all these are okay. All these, just go through all these things. There is one thing called rolling stock 41,000. Okay. And here we have road works almost 1 lakh. Okay. National Highway Authorities has got 1 lakh 68. Okay. National Highway Authorities and roadworks have got again huge allotments. Okay. So anyway, remember that Garib Kalyan Yojana has got the highest. Try to remember that. Manrega has got very huge urea subsidy. Remember this. Urea subsidy also has 1 lakh 19,000. Okay. And nutrient based subsidy for 45,000. This is also huge. So this is what they've been talking about, right? They're saying that the subsidy bill is becoming higher day by day. Now subsidies are good for the farmers, but it is a huge amount being spent by the government, right? Look at this telecom infrastructure. Just 1 2 years back, it had 53,000. Now it has come down to 2,000. Okay, that's a huge cut short. Okay, so this thing and there are this production linked incentive was also frequently in news. The production linked incentive scheme is 2,000 crores only for pharmaceutical. That too. Remember, urea subsidy is also quite high. Okay, 1 lakh 19,000. So those which are very high, try to remember them. And this is the question we have seen 880. Okay, and so Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana 80,000, Jal Jeevan Mission 70,000. They are big ones. Okay, health is 38,000. Fine, and Manrega is 86,000. So fine. Let's go back to the question. Those are all very important. Only by multiple revision you can get it. One time you cannot remember those things, but remember at least 10 to 15. Okay, then you will be able to, you will be in a position to answer the question. So this we have seen 880, right? 880 crore. So it is not there in the option. So just check here. Okay, it is 880 crore. So maybe he has taken some wrong, or maybe he has added all these things. Okay, maybe what he meant was couple of over a period of time maybe, but in the budget it is given as 880 crore. The same question. Prime Minister formalization of micro food processing. Okay, PM FME, PM FME. This is also okay. PM FME is 880. Try to remember that. Don't go with this answer. So central government has estimated fiscal deficit. These fiscal deficits are very, very, very important. Okay, a question will be asked on fiscal deficit. Okay, now if you look at deficits, so this is budget at a glance. Observe this. So our revenue receipts in crore. Okay, see this is our revenue receipt. Okay, this is our capital receipts. So you add both of this, you will get the total receipts. Okay, total receipts will be equal to the total expenditure. Okay, for I mean for balance. Okay, for balancing they will put it as receipts equal to expenditure. Then further there will be expenditure will increase because of, and there will be a deficit. That's a different case. But for balancing the budget, they will put receipts equal to expenditure. Okay, this is estimated budget estimates. Remember that this is not the exact figures, but these are the ones when a question is asked, it is usually asked about the budget estimate only. Okay, what is the estimate that is given? How much we are expecting revenue? Revenue consists of revenue receipts and capital receipts. So total receipt is how much is this? 1,065,047 lakhs. So our budget is 47.65 lakh crore. Remember that. Okay. So what is the budget of India for this year for 23, 24, 25? Ours is the budget of 47.65 lakh crore. Okay. Write it down and remember. And similarly, we have expenditure and all these things you have to go through actually. How much you are paying for interest payments? See, huge amount is going as interest payment. Okay. Which is not a good thing because we are taking huge loans. See, what we are getting revenue, tax revenue is 260. Okay. And 39 3 lakh 99,000 is non-tax revenue and tax revenue is 26 lakhs. 26 lakhs is this thing, and borrowing is 16 lakhs, 16.85. So how much revenue are you actually getting? 26 plus this. Okay, but on top of that you are taking almost a huge percentage of it as a borrowings, which is not a good thing. Okay, 16.85, so almost near to 17 lakh crores you are taking as borrowings. So that is why interest payments almost 11 lakhs is going as interest payments every year, which is not a good thing. Anyway, so because of this excess, we are having a deficit. That fiscal deficit is 16 lakh 85,000 494. Okay, remember the 16.85 lakh crores. Okay, which is a huge amount, which is the fiscal deficit. And the revenue deficit. Okay, fiscal deficit is total expenditure minus total revenue. Okay, you are having revenue 100 rupees, your expenditure is 150 rupees. So you're not having that 50 rupees. So that 50 rupees is the deficit. So similarly, fiscal deficit is total expenditure minus revenue. So that you are getting as 16.85 lakhs. Remember this figure, very important. And revenue deficit. Revenue deficit is only between the revenue expenditure and the revenue income. Okay, revenue receipts and revenue expenditure, that you are having 6.53 lakhs. Okay, remember these things. Fiscal deficit is 16.85 and revenue deficit is 6.5. And see what is effective. See, fiscal deficit is total expenditure reduced by total receipts, and you have revenue deficit is revenue expenditure reduced by revenue receipts. And primary deficit is fiscal deficit minus interest payments. See, in the fiscal deficit you have to remove the interest payment, because interest payment is something you are paying off to the foreign countries or foreign banks or domestic players. Okay, so that is not exactly going for any revenue or capital generation. So from the revenue deficit, if you remove the interest payments, then you will get the primary deficit. Okay, and what is effective revenue deficit? So this revenue deficit means what is revenue, what is capital. Capital is, for example, if you are spending money to build roads or to build a new parliament building or to build what is the power plants or water sewage treatment plants. Okay, so any infrastructure, capital infrastructure, if capital infrastructure is created, then that is called as capital expenditure. Okay, then what is revenue expenditure? Revenue expenditure is see, payment of salaries. Okay, And for example, if you have these ministers, prime minister, and everyone, okay, for each one of their security, their salaries, their house, and everything, some crores will be spent, right? So all that money which is being spent but will not result in any physical asset, okay, that is called as revenue expenditure. That is why finance commissions are frequently saying reduce your revenue deficit to zero. That is, don't spend more. If your revenue is only this much, don't spend so much unnecessarily. Okay, so give salaries accordingly. Don't spend too much on perks. Okay, so that is revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Now, within the revenue expenditure, you are giving some amount to the states as capital grants. Okay, so whatever money you are giving to the states, you are showing in revenue expenditure. But that money will be used by the states for capital asset, capital infrastructure. Okay, so because the states are using it to create assets, some building, some road. So that is not a waste expenditure. That is good expenditure. So in order to get the true picture, true revenue deficit, what you are doing is from the revenue deficit, you are subtracting the capital asset creation grants. Whatever grants are money which the central government is giving to the state government for creation of capital assets. That is a good thing, right? So no need of showing it as a deficit. So from the revenue deficit, you are subtracting the grants for creation of capital assets. Then you will get the effective revenue deficit. Fine. So remember all these things. Now, what is the question? So central government has estimated fiscal deficit at, we are asking for 2024 fiscal year 2024. What is the deficit? So now let's go back. So what is the deficit? Is asking for 23-24, right? Not 24-25. He's asking for 23-24. For 23-24, see, it is 17.86 lakhs, which is 5.9% of the GDP. Okay, remember this. It is 5.9%. Currently, it is 5.1. So fiscal deficit has reduced, which is a good thing. Okay, so these trends are also very important. See, revenue deficit was 2.9 and it has reduced to 2, which is a good thing. So similarly, fiscal deficit was 5.9. It has reduced to 5.1, which is a good thing. Okay, previously it was 17.86. Now it is 16.85. Okay, so for fiscal year 2024, that is 23-24, the estimated fiscal deficit, estimated, not the revised or not the this thing, okay, not the budgeted estimate, is called estimated, which is 5.9. So currently it is 5.1. Remember that also. Okay, the question they might ask 23-24, but we have to remember for 24-25 also. Okay, so most questions will be asked from budget and economic survey and government schemes. Okay, so be very thorough with them. So with reference to the currency deposit ratio, so these deposit ratio, quick ratio, and all those are called as liquidity ratios. Usually, when we prepare for banking exams, we go into depth. Okay, and after you join the bank, also when you give this, what is this called as this JIB, CIB, all these professional courses will be there, professional certifications. Otherwise, if you are a chartered accountant, all that they have this more use for these liquidity ratios. So for a common aspirant, it is not no need to require. I mean, no need to go into so much depth. Okay. So just try to understand with reference to currency deposit ratio. Okay, it represents ratio of money held in public in currency to that held in bank deposits. It makes sense, right? Currency deposit, money held with public and that in bank. Okay, seems true. The ratio represents people's preference for cash against deposits. Okay, so obviously, if the ratio is high, that means the money held by public is high, which shows that people have more preference than cash than putting deposits in the bank. Okay, so it seems true, right? Currency deposit ratio seems fine. So both A and B are correct. Don't go into too much depth. So see here, I put a comment, right? A, B, C all are correct, not given in option. Okay, so all these three are correct. It is not given in the option. So whenever there is a comment, just go through that comment. Okay. So with reference to the World Happiness Report 2023, consider the following statements. So let us go to the reports. World Happiness Report. So, World Happiness Report Index 2023, India ranks 126. Try to remember, very very important. It is given by UN. See, this is rank given by and notes. Okay, it is 126 out of 150 given by UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and Finland is the top. Okay, Finland is the most happiest country in the world. It is ranked top for the sixth consecutive year in the World Happiness Index 2023, and the Afghanistan came at the lowest position. Okay, fine, and because of low life expectancy and low GDP per capita. So Finland top, Afghanistan is the Finland top, Afghanistan is the lowest. 126 is the rank and given by UN SDSN, okay, Sustainable Development Solutions Network. So what is the question? Finland has ranked first and is the happiest country in the world, which is true. Afghanistan is placed last position, which is true. India ranks 126th in 2023, which is true. Okay, 126 out of 150. That's what we have seen, right? 126 out of 150. So which is true. So all three are correct. The option ABC is not there. That's why I put a comment here. Okay, all ABC are correct. Okay, not given an option. So questions like this will be asked very frequently. So sometime back only we have seen, right? It's asked for 23, 24. So you have to remember for 24, 25 also, because that is the latest. Okay. So we are talking about deficits. So just sometime back we have seen about all kinds of deficits, right? So let us go back to those deficits and see what is asking. Okay. So this is the transfer to states expenditure. See, types of deficits. So these are the deficits, right? Now let us see the question. Fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, effective revenue deficit, and primary deficit. So for 23-24, fiscal deficit is 5.9. Okay, revenue deficit is 2.9. Effective revenue deficit. That means from the revenue deficit, you are removing those grants which are used for capital asset creation. That is 1.7. So obviously it will be less because you are subtracting. And primary deficit. Primary deficit is from fiscal deficit. If you remove the interest payments, then you will get the primary deficit. So 5.9, 2.9, 1.7, 2.38. Okay, now in the question, fiscal deficit is 5.9. Okay, so A1, revenue deficit is 2.9, which is true. Effective revenue deficit is 1.7, which is also true. Primary deficit is 2.3. Now we'll try to remember the latest figures also. Fiscal deficit is 5.1, which is 16.85 lakh crore. Remember that. Okay, our budget is what? 46.85. Remember this. 47.65. Sorry. So remember it is 47 crore budget. 47 lakh crore budget. Okay. Ours is a 47 lakh crore budget. Remember that. Okay. So it is 5.9. Revenue deficit is 6.5 lakh crore, which is 2. So from 2.9 it has come down to 2. And effective revenue deficit from 1.7 it has become zero point 0.8, which is a good thing. And 2.3 has become 1.5. So these things you have to remember. 5.1, 2.0, 0.8, 1.5. Okay. So fiscal deficit is 5.1. Revenue deficit is from 2.9 it became 2.1, and effective revenue deficit from 0.17, 1.7 it became 0.8. Okay. 1.7 became 0.8. Primary deficit is 2.3 became 1.5. So try to remember. 5.9 became 5.1, right? 5.1, and 2.9 became 2.0, 1.7 became 0.8, 2.3 became 1.5. Okay, remember all these things. Okay, the reason I am repeating so many times is it is that important. Questions will be asked on deficits. Deficit is very, very, very important. Also, there is a deficit trend, right? Those trends are also asked. See, this is the deficit trends. If you look at last 5 years, okay, see in 2020 during the corona period, deficit has gone to as high as 9.2. This is the 2014, right? So in the last decade, deficit was at 4.5 and it has reached as high as 9.2, which is not a good thing. Now it is coming back to 5.1, which is a good thing slowly. Fine. Remember this, friends. Okay. So as per the NSSO 70th round of situation assessment survey of agricultural households. Okay. So let us look at what is that agriculture, right? So let us go to agriculture. So in the agriculture sector, we've seen all this. Yesterday we have seen. So this is the NSSO. So according to the National Statistics Survey Organization, which is very important, 70th round, okay, recent one, situation assessment survey of agricultural households. Okay, Rajasthan had the highest percentage of agricultural households. Remember this. So Rajasthan, when we used to work in bank also, they used to, I mean, people who are from Rajasthan, even they never used to take Rajasthan circle. Okay. So unfortunately, it used to have so much crime. Okay. People were very illiterate, lot of illiteracy, poverty, everything. Okay. So usually it is, we know that we heard that Rajasthan had some of the highest poverty rates and etc. Okay. Because a lot of it is desert region. Okay. A lot of caste politics and all. Okay. Anyway, remember Rajasthan has the highest percentage of agricultural households, 78.4, and followed by Uttar Pradesh, 74.8, and followed by Madhya Pradesh, 70. And Madhya Pradesh has the highest tribal population, highest forest cover, all those things. Remember that. Okay. So Rajasthan, followed by UP, followed by Madhya Pradesh. So as per the survey, about 45% of the total agriculture household belong to the OBCs. Okay. So that's why in the Indian politics also, these OBCs play a very important role because they are the agricultural class. Okay, and most of the we've seen rural population they are involved in agriculture, and 45% of the agricultural households belong to the OBCs. That's why even in the political scenario, the OBC vote matters a lot. Okay, even the prime ministers and all will have a more number of ministers from the OBCs because they have more percentage, 45%. Remember that. 16% to the scheduled caste, 13% to the scheduled tribes. So remember this. Okay, try to remember these figures. OBC very high in number, 45, 16% scheduled caste, 13% scheduled tribes. Other end, so agriculture activity, that is cultivation, livestock, other agricultural activities like sericulture, apiculture, all those things. Okay, horticulture. They are reported to be the principal source of income for the majority of the households in all the major states except Kerala, where 61% of the agricultural households reported to have earned maximum income from sources other than agricultural activities. So, in Kerala, 61% of the agricultural households. So, out of those 100 people who are doing agriculture, 61 people are saying that even though they are in agriculture, they are getting income from some other sources. So they're probably doing what is a resort business or see in Kerala, tourism industry is very prominent. Okay, so everybody has these homestays, small resorts, small hotel, and all these things. So even the agricultural households, 61% of them are getting income from other activities, not agriculture. So that is one unique thing about Kerala. Remember, but otherwise 45, 16, 13, all these things Rajasthan try to remember. So this is the agriculture. See, anything related to agriculture is very important in India. Okay. So in Kerala, little over 60% agriculture households reported to have received maximum income from sources other than agriculture activity, which is true. 61% in Kerala said they are getting income from other sources, mostly tourism related. Rajasthan has the highest percentage share of agriculture households, which is true. Rajasthan followed by UP, followed by MP. Out of the total agricultural households in the country, little over 60% belong to the OBCs. Now, this is wrong. See, OBC is 45% only. So, remember, 45% OBCs, 16 SC, and 13 ST. So, C is wrong. Okay, only A and B are correct. So, option 3 is correct. So, this is a very important question. Okay, try to remember. Okay, so in agriculture, 45% OBC, 16% schedule cost, 13% schedule tribe. Rajasthan has the highest and 45% OBCs, and in Kerala, around 61% are getting income from other sources. Fine. So we'll stop here and continue in the next class. So this will take around maybe 3 to 4 sessions, and we'll complete the model paper 2. Okay. Thank you.